Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Episode 18. Now, if you remember from last episode, we found out Lisa has the Red Stone of Asia, and Kars is the original creator of the stone masks, so that was kind of interesting. However, we're taken to a different scene with Lisa, and she has one more final lesson to teach both Zeppeli and JoJo. Apparently, she wants Zeppeli to fight Misan, and JoJo to fight Login, so it's an interesting matchup. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. However, we're taken to a different scene with Zeppeli, and he already defeats his opponent already, so Misan goes down, and he says, "I've thrown the towel, I quit. Zeppeli, I've got nothing else to teach you." I'm like, well, really? We're ripped off that much? Come on. I was expecting an amazing fight between Zeppeli and Misan. But you know, Zeppeli's the clear-cut winner, because he didn't quit. But anyways, we're taking to a different scene with JoJo. Now, he's supposed to be fighting Logins. Yeah, that doesn't happen. In fact, AC/DC appears out of nowhere. He kills Logins, so Logins has been murdered, and we get to see a fight between now AC/DC and JoJo. Now, the end result being JoJo is the clear-cut winner. Or at least that's what we see. Now, at the end of the episode, we find out AC/DC looks like he's attached himself to JoJo as JoJo's walking away. We see it looks like his brain, but again, that's where the episode ends. And I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with JoJo, and apparently something is on his back. Like I pointed out before, it's AC/DC's brain. So AC/DC wasn't really defeated. He still has his brain, apparently. His body's been defeated, just not his mind. I know, man, that's horrible to say it that way, but that's how it is. But moving on past that, we're taking to a different scene with Lisa, and she's taking a bath, and she's being very oblivious to what happens between JoJo and Logins and, you know, Zeppeli and Misan. So she has no idea what's happening outside. She just strips down and goes into the bath. I'm like, okay, so she has no idea that Logins has been murdered. I'm like, what kind of teacher are you? I thought you were supposed to be stronger than JoJo, at least have some type of, I don't know, spider sense, you know, something's tingling, you notice something? Yeah, it doesn't exist. However, we're taken to a different scene with JoJo, and he surprises Suzy Q, which is the maid, which is, you know, Lisa's maid. So JoJo, he's heading to go see Lisa to inform her about everything, and he surprises Suzy Q, and she's shocked, you know, she's like, "Don't scare me, don't do something like that." It's like, stranger, stranger. I thought that was kind of funny. And then JoJo hits on her. And then this is what Suzy Q basically says: "Fat chance." Now, remember, JoJo has AC/DC's brain on right on his back, or at least that's what we thought we see, because apparently it disappears. Like, where did it go? And then we hear Suzy Q basically change her tone. Instead of saying "fat chance," she's like, "I think you're cute." I'm like, wait, was that a split personality change up right there? And again, AC/DC's that was on JoJo's back, like the brain, it's now gone. It's like it just disappeared. We see a little green slime, but that's about it. Now we're taken to a different scene with JoJo, and he's a peeping Tom. He's looking at Lisa through the little key peephole. If that makes any sense, I'll say it one more time because it sounded kind of funny how I said it. We see JoJo. He's a peeping Tom, and he's looking through a keyhole to see Lisa. She's practically naked in like a little tub, so I thought it was kind of funny. And then he notices right next to her Suzy Q, and he's like, "Wait, that can't be Suzy Q. She just passed me on the way down. How did Suzy Q get right back up here through a locked door, no less? Well, I think the door's locked. And she's right next to Lisa. That's just not physically possible. So what is up?" So before we get any more closure on that, we're taken to a different scene. Now, apparently, JoJo is right in front of like the door where Lisa's on the other side, of course, and he notices there's green goo on the doorknob. Obviously, we as the audience know it's got to be AC/DC's like blood or something, like some type of chemical that belongs to, you know, AC/DC. But again, AC/DC is no longer with JoJo. He's gone. Where did this little rascal run off to? I mean, just put that out there. Moving on past that, we do find out Suzy Q has been taken over by AC/DC. So he snuck right up inside of her and took control. So he's holding her body hostage. Just putting that out there. But we are taken to a different scene. Now, apparently, the Red Stone of Asia has been mailed. Wait, when did that happen? So apparently when Suzy Q left Lisa, this is when the brain jumped out and went into, you know, technically Suzy Q. So the whole time between JoJo talking to Suzy Q in the hallway, she was freaked out, the brain, which is AC/DC, got off of JoJo's back and jumped right inside of Suzy Q. And that's when JoJo started running his mouth off about talking to Lisa about, you know, the Red Stone of Asia. So now, you know, this is kind of funny because AC/DC now knows everything. This is why he took Suzy Q's body and left. So apparently, Suzy Q's body's been hijacked by AC/DC, and apparently she had the Red Stone of Asia on her when she was being taken over. and AC/DC knows everything, so he mails the Stone of Asia. So he went to like the little postman, which is on a boat, gives the guy, a package and sends it off. I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, as this is going on and JoJo's now being caught up with, AC/DC being in Suzy Q's body, and Suzy Q mailed, the Stone of Asia to God knows where, Zeppeli appears out of nowhere. He has no idea what's really happening. He's just shocked how JoJo's talking to, Suzy Q in general, and how Lisa's acting a little funny as well, because she is half naked, of course. So he doesn't know really what's going on. And again, AC/DC is trying more of his BS. He tries to convince Zeppeli they're being mean to me. Because it's in a girl's body, so he's trying to use Suzy Q's body to distract Zeppeli while trying to buy time so the mail can go out. So that kind of makes sense, but it really doesn't work because we're taking to a different scene with AC/DC, and again he is using Suzy Q's body as a hostage. But yeah, JoJo basically explains to Zeppeli, that's AC/DC. That ain't Suzy Q. So we're taking to a different scene with JoJo, and he tries to bluff AC/DC into trying to leave the body per se, because he's gonna kill Suzy Q regardless of what's happened. So I hope that made sense how I explained it. I thought it was kind of funny, and I actually saw this scene twice because I didn't understand it. So we see Suzy Q's body and it has AC/DC inside of it, and JoJo basically bluffs to AC/DC, says, well, even though you're inside of Suzy Q's body, I'm going to kill her anyways to get to you because it's for the greater good. And you would think AC/DC might have listened, but he's like, nope. AC/DC is too smart. He does not fall for it. It's like, yeah, I call your bluff. I call BS. So we're taking to a different scene with AC/DC, and apparently he wants to blow up Suzy Q's body and splatter his blood everywhere, which again is his lava hot blood, because he feels he's already taken up enough time where the post office or his package got out fast enough to go to wherever. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna take out Suzy Q's body, and all my hot lava blood's gonna shoot out there and kill everyone. What? I mean, that's kind of mean. I mean, that's a waste of a girl's body. So we're taking to a different scene with JoJo. And guess what? JoJo actually has a plan. Apparently, he wants to combine both his and Zeppeli's ripple energy together to attack AC/DC. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this what they learned in the tower? Yeah. So he's actually using the training that Lisa showed him on AC/DC. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So we're taking to a different scene with AC/DC. And he escapes before this, whole technique actually kills him directly. He just escapes Suzy Q's body. And he's not really running away because he's a brain, but before anything else can happen, the sun's going to kill him, so he's actually dying. It looks like he was about to escape because he bought enough time, but no, AC/DC has been defeated kind of, but by the sun. Yeah, AC/DC is now dead, he's gone, and I thought, okay, but at the same time, even though now he's dead, JoJo respects him. I'm like, JoJo has matured. Even though AC/DC is now officially dead, JoJo, he's matured. He's like, you know what? I respect that guy, because no matter what, this guy stuck to his guns over the years, and he always had the Pillar Men in mind. He was always close to his friends. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So, JoJo, you've definitely matured. However, we're taking to a different scene with Lisa. Now, Lisa is trying to interrogate Suzy Q, because Suzy Q had AC/DC's brain up in her head, and she wants to know where AC/DC sent her package, which had the Red Stone of Asia to. So she's drilling her for questions like, where did this package go? Where was it sent to? Apparently to Switzerland, to St. Moritz. So the package with the Red Stone of Asia went to Switzerland? Really? I wonder what's in Switzerland. I was kind of curious. So apparently Wham and Cars are in Switzerland, so now we know. Just putting that out there if you didn't already know that. So we're taking to a different scene with Lisa, Zeppeli, JoJo, and Misan. They're actually heading for Switzerland to cut off the train, which has, the Red Stone of Asia inside. So I thought, okay, so they have a plan at least. They're hoping to outrun the train before it hits until it hits Switzerland, because that Red Stone of Asia has to mean something to Wham for them to go this far to get it. Now we are taking to a different scene with JoJo. Just when they're about to leave, they're in the car. We see JoJo turn around and say his goodbyes to Suzy Q, and basically say, Suzy Q, I'll be back to Venice to see you in the near future, so count on it. So is there a thing between them? I think so. However, we are taken to a different scene. Now we're in Switzerland. Now we see someone. He's waiting at a phone booth. It looks like he's waiting for contact or confirmation from AC/DC. Guess what? That's Cars. Cars just doesn't look the same. He's got a trench coat, a hat. He looks kind of looks like a private detective in my opinion. Just putting that out there. But again, I like what he's dressed with, but he's waiting for the phone to ring, but it doesn't, so he knows something must be up. So AC/DC must have been defeated because he was supposed to contact Cars. So now we know who Well, this guy is, he's Cars, and he's waiting on confirmation from AC/DC. I wonder what's going to happen next now that he knows AC/DC is late. Is he dead? You know, we know, but he doesn't. He has no idea. However, we are taking to a different scene with Lisa and everyone else. Guess what? I believe they're in Switzerland because they say they are an hour away from where St. Moritz is at. So they've caught up with the train, and they're about to actually board the train to get the Redstone of Asia because the train has stopped at customs. However, yeah, there's a big however. Germans come. They're just driving down, they're passing, you know, Zeppelin and everyone else, and one of the German officers turns to JoJo, and he knows him. But JoJo has no idea who this officer is. But this officer, this German officer, knows JoJo. Now these German soldiers take over the train and they find the Redstone of Asia. And apparently they point out to JoJo as well as everyone else, we know what you guys have been doing for the last 3 weeks. We know everything about you. We're taking this stone for research. JoJo, meet me at this location, XYZ, if you want to talk more about things. Hopefully we can figure something out. Stuff along those lines. I'm like, okay, what just happened? The Redstone of Asia just got hijacked by Germans, and we don't even know who the hell this guy is. He hasn't even shown his face. I'm just putting that out there, but it was kind of interesting. However, we are taking to a different scene with Cars. Now, this is 5 hours later. He shows up at this, looks like a small little yacht cottage or something in the middle of nowhere. So it's like a little cottage, and it's in like a snowy background area. It looks like not that far from Switzerland, probably. And we see all the German soldiers that are inside. There's like 5 of them that Cars actually notices with his little power he has. And I'm like, okay. So he actually cuts the building in half. But, you know, the building doesn't collapse, but his power goes through it, and he kills all 5 of the German soldiers. However, he missed one. One of the soldiers inside, one of the officers, which is the one that knows JoJo, and is waiting for JoJo, by the way, doesn't show up on Cars' radar. In fact, he's a cold body. He's like, why doesn't your body register? Why can't I pick you up? So the German officer, turns around and talks to Cars. He's like, I was like, wait a minute, he's about to turn. We turn, we see him. You sitting down for this? It's Strohem. He's not dead, he's alive, and he's a machine. He's a cyborg. I was like, holy shit. And then JoJo walks right in, and now we see JoJo, Cars, and Strohem. And that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, okay, Strohem, what did the Germans do to you? Who put you back together again, Humpty Dumpty? Plain and simple. Just putting that out there. And what are you trying to do with the Redstone of Asia? I know you've been watching JoJo and everyone else train for 3 weeks, but what are you really trying to do with this stone? I mean, you're trying to prevent the Pillarmen from taking over the world, but what's with all this cloak and dagger? And at the same time, what is Cars going to do now that he sees JoJo, and now that he sees, you know, Strohem? What's going to happen? What's the confirmation? What's the next level? And where's Lisa? Where's everyone else at? Why is it just JoJo there? But again, that ends it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 4 out of 5. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 because I feel comfortable. I mean, we get to see Strohem. He comes back. We get to see, well, Suzy Q really isn't a main character here, so we're really not going to see any more of her, hopefully. But it was very interesting to see AC/DC steal Suzy Q's body and have it being held as hostage until, you know, the package was delivered, per se, or at least got away. So I was like, it was kind of interesting, but, you know, it still felt like a waste of time. But there wasn't a lot of fighting in this episode, but we did get to see Cars, more of Cars, so I'm a Cars fan right now. I want to see more of him. But again, final rating, 4 out of 5, because there really wasn't a lot of drama, either between fighting or between Suzy Q and JoJo. Suzy Q and JoJo had a little drama. And then we get to see Lisa, so a lot of Lisa per se. So again, final rating 4 out of 5. And again, that ends it for my walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 18. But definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down, definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And before I go, I have to say it, and I always say it, you can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.